Welcome in, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you guys are doing well, and peace be upon you all. So, today we're going to talk about FIBA EuroBasket 2025. So, the basketball tournament is going on right now. So, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to first just see what the tournament is all about, take a look at some information about it. We're going to take a look at the groups in the tournament. We're going to take a look and see what countries are in what group and the standings. We're going to take a look at some of the players. More specifically, we'll take a look at Luka Doncic of Slovenia, Giannis Antetokounmpo of Greece, Nikola Jokic of Serbia, and Yusuf Nurkic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today and take a look at. Before we do jump into that, I would like to mention that on my YouTube channel, I create content about money, sports, and personal topics with the goal of bringing value to your life. So if you find value in this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can continue making these videos. All right, let's go ahead and jump into FIBA EuroBasket 2025. All right, so what exactly is the FIBA EuroBasket 2025 tournament? So the FIBA EuroBasket 2025 is the 42nd edition of the premier European basketball tournament, and it features 24 teams vying for the championship title. So the dates and host cities for the tournament. So the tournament dates, the tournament started on Wednesday, August 27th, 2025, and it will conclude with the final on Sunday, September 14th, 2025. The hosts or co-hosts of the tournament is done by 4 countries, and that is Cyprus, Finland, Latvia, and Poland. And how it's broken down is that Group A, they play in Riga, Latvia. Group B plays in Tampere, Finland. Group C plays in Limassol, Cyprus. And Group D plays in Katowice, Poland. And the final phase, the knockout stage, including the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final, will be held entirely in Riga, Latvia. So, as far as the teams participating in the groups, so 24 teams qualified for the tournament. The 4 host nations that I just mentioned, they automatically qualified, while the other 20 spots were determined through qualifiers. Each host nation was allowed to choose a partner federation to be placed in the same group for commercial and marketing purposes. And later on, we'll take a look at each group and see what countries were in each group. So the tournament format, the tournament is divided into 2 phases. So number 1 is the group phase. So the 24 teams are split into 4 groups of 6. Each team plays every other team in its group once in a round robin format. And second is the knockout stage. So the top 4 teams from each of the 4 groups advance to the knockout stage. And basically, the phases after that will be the round of 16, and then the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then third place and the final. And some of the notable players in the tournament are Nikola Jokic, who plays for the Nuggets, Luka Doncic of the Lakers, Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks, Franz Wagner, Dennis Schroeder, Lauri Markkanen, Kristaps Porzingis, Yusuf Nurkic, Alperen Şengün, and other NBA players. So it's definitely a tournament filled with superstars and definitely something to watch if you're a basketball fan. So, next, let's go ahead and take a look at how the groups are set up in the tournament. So, like I mentioned earlier, the tournament consists of four groups of six. So, these are the four groups, and let's just run through each one and see which countries are in each group. So, we got Group A with Turkey, Serbia, Latvia, Estonia, Portugal, and Czechia. Group B has Germany, Lithuania, Finland, Montenegro, Sweden, Great Britain. Group C has Greece, Spain, Italy, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Georgia, and Cyprus. And Group D has Poland, Israel, France, Slovenia, Belgium, and Iceland. So these are all the groups A through D and the 24 teams in each group. So a lot of the groups have already played at least three games, if not four, and they play a total of 5 games. So basically, the group phase is going to be coming to an end pretty soon, and then we'll head over to the knockout round. So let's just kind of analyze each of these groups and see how the teams are doing. So in Group A, we got Turkey in first place. They played 4 games and won all four. They have 8 points. Serbia played 3 games. They won all three. They have 6 points. They're in second place. And so just to mention, a win gets you 2 points and a loss gets you 1 point. So that's how this is set up. So, and then we have Latvia and Estonia. And the first 4 teams in each group will advance. So it looks like in Group A, Turkey and Serbia have already qualified for the round of 16. So that group is pretty much set as far as the first 2 teams that are going through. So in Group B, we have Germany, they're 4-0, 8 points. Lithuania 3-1, Finland 3-1, Montenegro 1-3. So we can see that Germany, Lithuania, and Finland have already qualified for the round of 16 in their group. And in Group C, Greece is 3-0, Spain is 2-1, Italy is 2-1, Bosnia and Herzegovina is 1-2, Georgia is 1-2. So in this group, Group C, Greece has already qualified, and most likely Spain and Italy will qualify as well. And then it'll be a close final round matchup between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Georgia to determine who's going to be the fourth team in Group C that will make it to the knockout round. So that's going to be interesting to watch. And Group D, we got Poland in first place. They're 3-0 with 6 points. Israel 2-1. France 2-1. Slovenia is 1-2 with 4 points. So in that group, Poland has already qualified, and most likely France will qualify and Slovenia, but it's still to be determined officially. So we already are kind of getting the picture in the group round. A lot of the teams have already qualified for the knockout round, but we still have some third and fourth place games to be played and to be determined. So it's going to be very interesting to see the group stage finish out here in the next couple days. So, so just next, what I want to do is actually just kind of go into each of these teams or most of them and just see how they actually played and who might be looking good so far in the tournament. So the first team we're going to take a look at is Turkey in Group A. So let's see some details here. So we can see that Turkey went 4-0 so far in the group stage. In their first game, they beat Estonia 84-64. They beat Portugal 95-54. They beat Czechia 92-78. And they beat Latvia 93-73. So these are all very nice wins by large margins. So Turkey has been playing really well in the tournament so far, and they're one of the best teams that has a chance to go all the way. So a couple of notable players on their team are Cedi Osman, number 6, and Alperen Şengün, number 23, who plays for the Houston Rockets in the NBA. He's Turkey's best player, so they got some NBA firepower on their team, so that's good to see. And let's just take a look at some of the statistics here and leaders. We can see that as far as efficiency per game, Alperen Şengün has the highest at 30 points per game. Şengün 20 rebounds. Şengün 8.8 assists. Şengün with 6.5. So, and also with blocks, Şengün leads the team. So Turkey is playing really well. They're undefeated. Their superstar Alperen Şengün is playing really well, and we'll see how far Turkey goes in the tournament. So the next team I want to take a look at is in Group A is Serbia. So they're also undefeated. So far, they're 3-0. And Serbia, in their first game, they beat looks like Latvia 84-80, Portugal 80-69, Estonia 98-64, and they just beat Czechia 82-60. So Serbia is also 4-0, just like Turkey is. So they're looking really good as well. And as far as their roster, some notable players: Nikola Jovic, he's in the NBA, Bogdan Bogdanovic as well. And of course, they have Nikola Jokic, Denver Nuggets center. So they have a really good team as well. They're also one of the favorites that have a chance to go all the way. And let's take a look at some of their statistics and their leaders. So efficiency is Nikola Jokic, 33.3 points per game. Jokic, 24.3. Rebounds, Jokic, 10 per game. Okay. All right. So I think Serbia and Turkey are very close. And I think they're going to be two of the favorites to win the whole tournament. And we'll see what happens. So I'm sure they're going to go very far. That's pretty much all the teams I want to take a look at in Group A. On Group B side, the team I want to take a look at is Germany. So Germany's also 4-0 in the tournament. So they first beat Lithuania 107 to 88. They beat Sweden 105 to 83. Montenegro 106 to 76. And today they beat Great Britain 120 to 57. Wow, that's a crazy score. So Germany's playing really, really well as well. Let's take a look at their roster. They have a couple of NBA players as well. So they got Dennis Schroeder, who's a really good point guard slash shooting guard. They got Franz Wagner. So Germany's looking good as well. Some of their leaders. So efficiency is Franz Wagner. Points per game is Schroeder with 22.3. Rebounds is Daniel Tice. Assists is Schroeder with 5.5. Steals per game, Franz Wagner and 1.8. So Germany's looking very good as well. We'll see how far they go and see if they can make some noise in the knockout round. All right, so in Group C, we're gonna take a look at two different teams. So the first team we're gonna take a look at is Greece. So Greece is 3-0 so far in the group stage. So they first beat Italy 75 to 66. Then they beat Cyprus 96 to 69. And most recently they beat Georgia 94 to 53. So very impressive wins by Greece and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And they are the best team in this group for sure. Let's take a look at their roster. So we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, number 34, who currently plays for the Milwaukee Bucks and is one of the best players in the world. And looks like he's got his two brothers on the team as well, Kostas and Thanasis Antetokounmpo. And let's take a look at some of the numbers and leaders for Greece. So as far as efficiency per game, Giannis with 31. Points per game, Giannis with 29. Rebounds, Giannis with 7.5. Blocks per game, Kostas Antetokounmpo. Steals per game, Giannis with 1.5. So obviously Giannis is the best player for Greece. He's playing really well. His team is undefeated. So it's very impressive to watch them so far. And the other team in this group that we're going to take a look at is Bosnia and Herzegovina. So Bosnia right now is 1-2 in the tournament. So they first got a win against Cyprus, 91-64. So that was good to watch and see them get their first win. Then they played Spain, and Spain was just pretty much better the whole game. Bosnia never really had a chance, so Bosnia lost 88-67. And then they played Italy. And the game against Italy, Bosnia played better, but they still lost. And thus they're 1-2 so far. And Bosnia plays Greece next, where they're going to probably lose that game just because Greece is so much better. And then Bosnia is going to play Georgia in its final and fifth game. And I think whoever wins that game, Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Georgia, will be the fourth team in the group and will be the last team to make it to the knockout round. So that's what I'm hoping for, rooting for the homeland, for Bosnia and Herzegovina, and wishing them all the best. Let's take a look at Bosnia's roster. So we got Yusuf Nurkic, big man center. He's currently with the Utah Jazz. Some other notable players, Ahmad Alibegovic, Amar Gegic, Adin Vrabac, Kenan Kamenjaš. So Bosnia has a pretty solid roster. We need Miralem Halilovic to get back in the lineup, number 7. He's going to be a boost to the team these last 2 games. So we'll see what happens. And let's take a look at some of the statistics for Bosnia and their leaders. So efficiency per game, 16, Yusuf Nurkic. Points per game, Nurkic with 16.3. Rebounds, Nurkic with 7.7. Assists, Edin Atic with 6.3. And Atic is the leader in blocks and steals per game. So a few different guys playing very well for Bosnia's national team. So, Bosnia is not as good as some of these other countries like Turkey, Serbia, Germany, Greece, and France. But, Bosnia has a solid team. They're competitive enough where they make things interesting. So I'm hoping that they make the knockout stage. I don't expect them to go too far if they do, but it will still be a successful tournament if they make the knockout stage. Maybe they make some noise there versus one or two of the other countries, depending on who the opponent is. But we'll see what happens. So in Group D, Um, the team I want to take a look at is, or I'm going to take a look at two different teams. So we'll take a look at France and Slovenia. So France is 2-1. So in their first game, they beat Belgium 92-64. Second game, they beat Slovenia 103-95. And recently they lost to Israel 82-69. So I think that might be an upset there. But nonetheless, they're still in the hunt. So on France, usually they would have the big man, Victor Wembanyama, but he's not, playing on the team in this tournament. So that's a big loss for them. They have NBA player Yabusele, number 7 here. They have Zachary Risachet, number 21, and Alex Sarr, number 44. So even with Wembanyama out, France still has a few different NBA players on their team. So France is going to be a problem to deal with in the tournament. Let's take a look at some of their numbers and leaders. So efficiency, Sylvan Francisco with 17 points per game, Francisco with 13. All right. Steals per game, Jalen Horde with 1.7. Okay, so they have different guys contributing in different areas. So even though they lost the most recent game, I think France is still an excellent team. And the last team we're going to take a look at is Slovenia with their superstar Luka Doncic. So Slovenia is 1-2. So in their first game, they lost to Poland 105-95. Then they lost to France 103-95. But in their most recent game, they got a win over Belgium 86-69. All right. On their roster, some notable players. So pretty much the only one that I aware of or familiar with is obviously Luka Doncic, number 77. They used to have the Dragic brothers on the team, but they're no longer playing for the national team. So pretty much Luka is the only guy I'm familiar with. So let's take a look at some of their numbers and their leaders. So efficiency per game, Doncic with 37. Points per game, Doncic with 33. Rebounds, Luka with 7.3. Assists, Luka with 9.7. Blocks, Luka with zero point 0.7. Steals per game, Luka with 3.3. So you can clearly see that Luka is by far their best player, and he's playing well. And they should make the knockout round, even though they've had a couple losses already. So, all right. So that's pretty much all the teams that I wanted to talk about. Just next, I just want to talk about some individual players here in the tournament, the big superstars, and see if we can get some information on them. All right, guys. So the top 3 NBA players in the world, I think people would unanimously say are Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Luka Doncic. And the awesome thing about this tournament, the EuroBasket 2025, is that all three of these guys are playing for their home countries in the tournament. So it's it's honestly almost as good as the NBA. And at sometimes it might be even better just because there's that connection like to your own country, and it can like mean a lot more. So I think it's awesome to watch the tournament and these players. So I just kind of want to talk about each of these superstars a little bit. So for the Slovenia national team, Luka Doncic is playing really well. He's looks like averaging so far 33 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 9.7 assists per game. So these numbers are really good. And keep in mind, the quarters in this tournament are only 10 minutes long versus like 12 minutes in the NBA. So these numbers by themselves would be impressive in the NBA, but with two less minutes per quarter in EuroBasket, they're even more impressive. So Luka's having a really good tournament for his country. Um, Even though they're 1-2, they're gonna make the knockout round and make some noise. And also Doncic, he achieved a rare triple double where he had 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists in Slovenia's win over Belgium. So Luka's looking good. He looks in shape. So it's just awesome to watch him play for Slovenia, and um, I'm loving it. Um, the next superstar we're going to talk about is Nikola Jokic. So he's playing excellent as well. He's averaging 24.3 points per game. He's averaging 10 rebounds per game, 4.7 assists. So very, very good numbers there as well. His team is undefeated. He's getting everybody involved, and he's just, the best player on the court for sure. And he's dominating on the boards again, averaging a double double with 10 rebounds per game. And we'll we'll keep watching him play. And the next superstar we want to talk about is Giannis Antetokounmpo for Greece. So Giannis, honestly, when he plays out there, it doesn't look fair because he's so tall, long, and athletic compared to like the white, shorter European players. That honestly just kind of looks unfair at times, like he's in a league of his own. And he's averaging 29 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game. So he's just crushing it as well. And he's having a really good tournament with his team undefeated. So I'm definitely curious to see who's going to win MVP at the end of this tournament. I honestly not sure right now. It's kind of a toss up. There's a couple other guys that are playing really well too, like Lauri Markkinen for um, Finland. So we'll see what happens there. And also for Bosnia's team, Yusuf Nurkic, he's playing really well. He's the best Bosnian player. Um, he's dominating down low, and he's having a very good tournament as well. So a lot of good NBA superstars and players in this tournament. We'll see who ends up being MVP. Um, so a lot more awesome games to come, and a lot more action by each of these players. All right, guys. So just to kind of wrap it up, I just kind of want to give my official takes on the tournament, who I think is going to win the whole thing, who I think is going to be the MVP, and just what I think is going to happen going forward. So I think, from what I can tell so far, the two best teams in the tournament are Greece and Serbia. So Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic. If I had to put my money, I think one of those two teams is going to win the whole tournament. And I think the teams after them that have a very good chance are Turkey and Germany. But I think Turkey and Germany are just slightly on a level below Greece and Serbia. But you never know, they could surprise them. Um, as far as France, I think they also have a chance, like Turkey and Germany does. But France doesn't have like Victor Wembanyama, and they're just not playing as well, I feel like, as Greece and Serbia. So again, my expectations are that either Greece or Serbia will win the whole thing. But after that, I think that Turkey, Germany, and France have a good chance as well. I think Slovenia and Luka Doncic, I think they're going to make it far into the knockout round, but Luka doesn't really have much help. So I don't see Slovenia really making it to the final and winning the whole thing. So I think Luka needs a little more help going forward. So as far as winning the whole thing between Greece and Serbia, that's going to be tough. I mean, as of now, I think I'll go with Greece and Giannis just because Giannis looks so good on the floor. He just looks, again, more athletic, stronger, longer than any of the other players. And the other players on Greece are very good as well. So I'm going to go with Greece winning the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket. I think the MVP as a result of that will be Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think Serbia will finish in second place. And I think third place, I'm going to go with Turkey. So just to kind of summarize again, so I think number one will be Greece, number two will be Serbia, number three will be Turkey. So we'll see what happens there. As far as my home country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, I think we'll beat Georgia in our final group stage game, and that will make the knockout round. But I think we'll lose in the first knockout round game. If not that one, then in the one following it. I think the other teams are just a lot better than us, but we'll see what happens there. And I already mentioned that I think the tournament MVP will be Giannis Antetokounmpo. So that's pretty much my take on the tournament. I'm loving this tournament and enjoying it so much just because the NBA has been out for a couple of months. So it's just nice to watch all these superstar NBA players play. So I'm definitely loving it and watching the tournament. So we'll see what happens, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can continue making these videos. And we'll check in on the tournament in a few days once the knockout round starts. Take care.